Question 1. Did it work like you thought? Why or why not? I don't think it worked like I first anticipated because there was much more that you could do, and it was much better than I first anticipated.
Sometimes it worked how we thought it would, but not always. There was always some bug that we had to overcome. It wouldn't work properly, or that kind of stuff.
Question 2. Top 3 lessons you learned. I think my number 1 lesson was you can't expect everything to come easy. Because when we started programming, we couldn't really get the character to do things what we wanted. 2. When you can't really get it to work on your first go, you gotta try again, and eventually it'll work, like what happened with the character. And 3rd, sometimes the smallest changes can make a huge difference. Something you think could be insignificant, such as just the gravity of a scene, could end up messing things up, like having people flying around at random.
My top 3 lessons were, lesson 1 was never try to give up on something, never try to get rid of something when you think it's, not working, some of the characters we tried to get it to work, but instead we just tried to edit it and improvise on the working on it. My second lesson was try our best to do something, even if it's hard. We just try to work on it and get it done.
Bring some food.
We had a character that we had to get rid of the white that's around it, and it was hard, but we did it. We finished it. And my 3rd lesson was to basically to persevere through things that are hard.
Question 3. What were your disappointments? Well, I didn't have too many disappointments because I felt that it worked fairly well. If there was one that I can list off, it would have to be the stuffed bear enemy we tried to add, because when we added it, it would be too large to fit into the scale of the game. When we tried to size it down, its physical size stayed during its mechanics, so it ended up breaking some of our components. So I felt that I really wanted to add that, but it didn't work out the way I wanted to.
Disappointments were some of the artwork, the concept artwork didn't really work out as we wanted it to. If it was it had to be a square most of the time because of the way it would be cropped, and usually it wouldn't move correctly. I had an idea to make a ball, but to make it roll, but we could never get it cropped down correctly, so it ended up just being a circle with a square around it. And yeah.
Question 4. What would you do differently? Well, I would say that I would try and make the artwork a little bit better, because if it were better, you could get a little bit more control factor in, as opposed to just having a single piece of code that just keeps on running onward for each new thing we want to do. The animations could actually handle some of that. I would also make it a little bit more interactive, because the levels I designed were sort of straightforward, go from left to right, not really too engaging.
What I would do differently is that I would try to put in more different shapes, and instead of just having them all squares, perhaps made rectangles, we could add circles and better shapes, because right now all we have is squares. Would be better to be something that's not really a shape, just a figure.
Yeah, I got.
Question 5. Would you recommend your project to someone else? I would have to say yes, mainly because most people, they underappreciate how hard it is to make these. They think it's going to be oh, we just gotta do a couple clickings and it's done. It's not really that good, but it's a very rewarding experience. Advice I would give them, stick to it. You will, for every problem there is a solution. If you can't find a solution, then maybe it's not a problem. Maybe you should incorporate it into your gameplay.
Yes, I would recommend my my project to someone else. I would what advice I would give them was to really it's easy gameplay. There's really no rules to explain except just the basic controls like Z to shoot and the arrow keys to move around.